Tanav. How are you?
I'm fine. What about you, Mohit?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here to start our podcast series today.
Yeah,
That's great. Finally, we are here. We are starting. Hey,
yeah,
give me a five. Fantastic. So, guys, this podcast series is going to be about our life, candid discussions about the day to day challenges that we face, and our own tips and tricks to overcome them. Are you looking forward to it, Tana?
yes. What about you, Mohit?
I am looking forward to it too. Great. So, do you want to talk about what challenges you're facing nowadays?
Yeah, I'm still in my school. I'm having some tests. So in the dictations, we're not having the spelling dictations. We're having the word remembering dictations. So in that, we ma'am gives us 5 or 10 words, and we she gives us 3 minutes to remember them, and we have to write them in order. The spellings doesn't match there, but it's really difficult to remember 15 things.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can imagine how tough that can be for somebody like us, somebody like you, and even for me for that matter. But you know what? There is a trick to remember
Wow.
things easily. Do you know that? No.
No.
Yeah, so I learned this from a book that I'm reading these days. Do you want to know about it?
Yeah.
The book is called The Hidden Secrets of a Super Learner. And that book is by my friend. His name is Bhowmick Sen. That's already quite a bit for you to remember, isn't it?
Yeah. So what is the trick?
So, yes, he talks about remembering various items and in the right order as well, using a technique. He also talks about another technique where you can remember the meanings of difficult words.
Wow. How is that possible?
Let me give you an example. For example, if you heard a word for the first time, let's say you have learned the word called insipid.
Yeah.
Insipid. Do you know what does it mean?
Insipid. No.
Yeah, you don't, okay? Even if I tell you that insipid means tasteless, I'm sure you will forget tomorrow or maximum by day after, isn't it?
I will forget in a minute.
Yeah, yeah, you would. Because there is completely new information for you. It's a new word to add to your vocabulary. So the technique that my friend Bhowmick tells to remember new words is that insipid is a new word for you. But you have to take that unknown word to something that you already know. How will you do that? Insipid, break it down. Insipid. Insipid in Hindi sounds like itni speed, itni speed, itni speed, right? Insipid, itni speed. So now you think about a story. When I was eating my food very fast, my mother came running to me and said, इतनी स्पीड से खाओगे तो खाने का स्वाद नहीं आएगा. Now I bet if I tell you about insipid again, you will remember this story. And in turn, you would remember the meaning of the word insipid too.
Yeah, I will remember the meaning forever.
Yeah, do you remember the story?
Yes.
What was the story?
इतनी स्पीड से खाना खाओगे तो टेस्ट नहीं आएगा.
Right. That's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that is a method through which you can learn so many words. So many words. What we have just now done is that one, if the mind gets a completely new information which it doesn't know anything about, you have to take it to something that is already familiar to the mind. This is called association. And once you've associated insipid to itni speed, your mind has a association. And after the mind has an association, you made a story, and mind remembers stories. So once you associate, make a story and remember a new word forever. Isn't that great?
Yeah,
What do you
it,
think about it?
it's so easy to learn new words and their meanings.
Yeah,
But how will we do the fifth? How will we learn the 15 words in order? That can't be done with related to story.
yeah. When I first saw Bhowmick doing this in a classroom, I thought that he was either a magician or he was cheating, or he was a magician who was cheating. But when I now know the trick, even my 7-year-old daughter can remember 15 things and in the same sequence. Can you believe that?
What? Your daughter is super intelligent.
No, all of us have a secret, and that secret is our supercomputer brain. It's just
Brain?
that, yes, it's just that my daughter now knows how to use her supercomputer. Do you know how to use your supercomputer?
Supercomputer? What?
Uh,
I have a normal computer that is 15 years old.
but you have a supercomputer right here, which God has given you, which is far more powerful than any of the latest computers that we have. It has a memory of petabytes, which means that it can remember a video which is 300 years long.
You are joking.
I'm not. And if you have to understand more, I would recommend this book. And by the way, coming back to the remembering of the 15 words and in the same sequence, once again, you have to know how to use your supercomputer. What you do is,
Okay, okay. First tell me, what is that supercomputer? Where is it? Where is it? I can see it. Is it invisible?
it is in our mind. Our brain itself is a supercomputer. And if I give you a supercomputer which you don't know how to use, will it be of any good for you?
No, of course not. My money will be wasted.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we do if we don't use our brain properly, or if we don't know how to use our brain properly. Which all subjects do you study in school?
I study maths, English, science, social science, music, dance, and many more.
But nobody is teaching you how to use your supercomputer brain.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we are going to be talking about in this podcast. And that's exactly what this book also talks about. So you can remember 15 or 20 things. All you have to do is use the use a technique which will help you remember it. And without making you more curious about it, let me tell you what it is. Once you have the 15 things that you have to remember, make a story of those 15 things one by one, right? For example, you can, if you have a list of things, you can make a story which you will remember. Like, I can take an example. You tell me 15 things.
I am. camera, gallery, Excel, laptop, mobile, mouse, pencil. How many words?
Do you even know yourself what all words you said?
No.
Let's go again and I'll make a note this time.
Okay, mouse, pencil,
That's two.
pen,
Mm-hmm.
camera,
Mm-hmm.
battery,
Mm-hmm. Keep going, keep going.
apple,
Apple.
orange,
Mm-hmm.
bottle,
Okay.
space,
Okay.
USB,
US USB.
B,
USB. Just five more to go.
cloth, cloth, then knife,
Okay.
um, then pocket,
Pocket. Okay.
then ice cream. How many are there?
Just one more to go.
And then the last, that is Tanav.
Okay. Now we have a list of 15 things which I have noted down over here. Now let's make, without telling anybody, let me make a story. Okay?
Story? We're not making a story here. We're trying to remember 15 things, Mohit.
Okay. That's the technique to remember the 15 things. Let me now make the story in front of you so you will understand. Okay? There was a mouse. He knew how to write. He wrote with his pencil. He wrote very well, but one day his pencil broke. He did not know how to use the sharpener, so he went ahead and he robbed the pen. Now his pen would write, and he became a writer. One day when he was writing, the camera of the house, the CCTV camera of the house, recorded him while he was writing, and the the owner of the house came to know about the writing mouse. He quickly switched on the battery of his torch, and he started to see where the mouse was, and then he found the mouse. The mouse was writing about the apple and the orange, but suddenly the bottle fell down, and there was the mouse was fully wet. In that space, the USP, the story has become very boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can make a more interesting story. But let me tell you, we've only covered 10, and this podcast, the time is limited. But let me now close the diary. And even while we've just spent about 30 seconds to make a really bad story, let's
if
see how
this
much we can remember. So you tell me, what was the story, and let's see if you remember any of those 10 words. What was the story?
so the mouse,
There was a mouse. So
there
mouse is
was,
first word. You do remember that one,
yeah,
okay?
so mouse had a pencil
Yes, it
and
did.
he wrote very well. And then
Yes.
one day his pencil broke, so he robbed a pen.
Pen, third word is right.
Yeah, then pen. Then he wrote about the apples and
And then
all.
somebody caught him writing. What caught him writing? The camera.
Oh yeah, the camera caught him writing.
And then the
And then
owner got to know, and
no,
owners,
the owner got to know the mouse was writing about apples and oranges.
and suddenly
And
what fell down?
suddenly the bottle fell down. And
Yeah,
then the space
yeah,
came, and then the USB suddenly.
yeah. So out of the
Oh,
10 words, you remember 9.
that means I
And
have done 90%. Yay, I will get an A plus in the next dictation.
that too in the same order of words. You are a
Wow.
superman.
Yes, my supercomputer is active.
It is active, and yours can be active too. So, we'll talk about this and many other techniques in our podcasts. Are you looking forward to it?
Are you? Well, I am.
Great. So, anything else you want to talk about today? Was that session useful?
Yeah, I learned how how to learn the word meanings, and I can get an A plus in next dictation. I
Yeah.
also learned how to learn the 10 words in order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me give you a challenge today. There is a word called acerbity. It's spelled as ACERBITY, and its meaning is harsh. Harsh. You know the meaning of the word harsh? Harsh is very strong, harsh language, for example. Yeah. Acerbity means harsh. Now, is this the first time you're hearing this word?
Yeah.
Okay, let me now give you a tip, and I'll take a test tomorrow. Acerbity. To break it down into words that you know. Asar beti. Asar beti. Eh? There was a father who spoke very rudely with his daughter, and इस ये सब करने से असर क्या हुआ बेटी पे?
वो भी गंदी हो गई.
वो भी बहुत हार्श और रूड हो गई. असर बिटी means harsh. Now I will check whether you remember the meaning tomorrow or not. Do you remember the story of acerbity?
Yeah.
What's the story?
So the word is asad biti. What was the meaning? I can't remember. Let me remember the story first. Okay. So there was a father called, not called, and there was a beti. So the father talked very badly with her
Yeah.
daughter, and असर बेटी मतलब असर पड़ा बेटी पे.
Mm.
That means harsh, bad. Yes, I got it.
Wow. I'll take a test tomorrow to see how many of those meanings you remember tomorrow, and that will tell us how useful this technique is. All right, guys. Do you think we are done for today, or shall we go on?
I think we'll meet tomorrow, Mohit.
Yeah, we will meet tomorrow. Before we leave you, let's summarize what all things we've learned today. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
One, we
Hmm.
learned how to